So we're starting our writing, and you're going to start some new writing. So if we look at our checklist, what's the first thing we need to do?
Generate ideas.
So we're going to generate some ideas. And if we look at the anchor chart, what are some things we can use to help us generate some ideas? We could use...
Real life.
Okay, so real life. Can you think of something from your real life that you might want to write about today? Did you have fun on Monday when we went on our field trip?
Yeah.
So could you write about some of the fun things you had there? So we'll put down field trip. And what were some of the things that you enjoyed doing on the field trip so we can help with our ideas?
Drive the Jeeps.
So driving the Jeep. So we have driving the Jeep. What else did we do? Or was that the most fun thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so driving the Jeep. Okay, anything else that you can think about? Maybe, what about something from your imagination? If you wanted to make something up, what could you write about? Can you think of anything? Okay, so what about from a book we've read? Can you think of any ideas from a book we've read that you might want to write about?
Yeah.
What from the book can you think of?
I don't know.
So maybe then our best idea is our field trip from real life. So let's add a little more detail to our idea to help us with our writing. So we were driving the Jeep. What did we learn? What were we learning about when we were driving the Jeep? What did we have to follow? Do you remember? When you were driving the Jeep, what told you had to stop? How did you know you had to stop when you were driving the Jeep?
Because it says stop.
Because there was a stop.
And there's a red sign, and there's a red light.
So a red light and a stop sign. So what we had to do is we had to follow street signs and lights, right? So we learned to follow street signs and lights. So there we have our idea that we're going to write about. We have some ideas. So now we look at our checklist. So we generated our ideas. We picked our idea we want to write about. Now, what's our next step? What's number 3 on our checklist? So we've generated our ideas.
Number 3, come up with a good opener.
So we come up with a great opener. What would be a great opener you think you would want to do?
Yay.
So yay. And so we do yay. So why don't you write down yay? And I'm thinking, let's add more to that opener. Because today, when we wrote as a class today, did we use 2 openers?
Yeah.
What 2 openers did we do?
Can you believe it snowed yesterday?
So we used, what was our first one? What was boo? Boo was in...
Onomatopoeia.
And then we used...
Talking to the reader.
So you said yay. Could we talk to the reader now?
Yes.
What would you want to say to the reader about our trip?
This is cool.
Well, they don't know what this is yet. The field trip was so cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so yay, the field trip was so cool. So there's our opener, okay? After we finish our opener, then you're going to do your first draft of writing, okay? And then we'll come back and we'll talk about some of our editing and revising, okay? So now we did some of our writing. Yay, the field trip was awesome. I learned how to follow street signs and lights. It was awesome when I drive the Jeep. So we're going to do a little bit of editing first. And it's, instead of not when I drive the Jeep, because it's in the past, we say drove. So what we need to do is we need to change the I to an O. So do you want to do that right now? You don't even need to erase it. We can just do it over top of here. Use my pencil there. So just right over top of the I to make it an O. Okay. So now here's what I'm wondering. Just to add a little more detail to our writing. is what were some of the street signs that you learned and some of the lights? Because that might be, someone reading this might want to know, well, what street signs did you learn about?
The train one.
So the train, and what do you have to do at the train?
When it goes down, you need to stop.
Okay, so that's an important piece of information we can add. What other signs did you learn about?
Stop.
So let's add this. So we have the train, and then we have the stop sign. Anything else you can think of?
Yeah, the red light sign.
What does red light mean?
Stop.
Okay, what do the other light colors mean?
The yellow one means slow down.
Okay.
The green one means go.
And green. So I think we add those details. So where you said, it was awesome when I drove the Jeep. Driving the Jeep, when I saw the train, I had to
Stop.
stop when.
When it's like that.
Yeah, and those are called arms.
Yeah,
So when the arms are down. And then you say, where else did you have to stop?
Stop. And the stop sign.
Stop at the stop sign and a...
And the red light.
Okay, and then you can tell me what the other lights mean. So I think that's our next step in our writing. It's just adding a little more detail like that. So that's just going to be our revising, okay, bud? So I'm looking at your comic here, and we were reading what was going on in your comic, and then we decided to come up with an opener. And then you came up with, remember what was called the superlative. So can you tell me what the opener you decided on?
I made him jump.
Well, what did
down.
we write here, though?
Tristan was the greatest
Yep.
man in the world.
So I love that, because now I'm going to read on and find out why Tristan is the greatest karate man in the world. So
Hey,
here's what I'm thinking. So your man jumped down here.
that's me.
So you jumped down there. Now, did you say anything while you were jumping down? Or were you just quiet?
But
You weren't quiet. You weren't like, ah! Because if I was jumping down, I might scream a little bit.
okay,
So what do we want to add?
I'm just gonna add a head
Yeah?
and some of the body
Okay.
with that big bespoke.
Okay.
I saw that.
Well, how do you think? Let's sound it out. Because ah is what kind of word? Now, what kind of punctuation do you think you want to put at the end of it as you're going down? You want to do an exclamation mark?
Yeah.
Why are you going to do an exclamation mark? Are you doing it? You're doing the exclamation mark because you're excited?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you come down here, and then the bad guy's trying to do something to you, and you guys get into a karate match.
Then I'm like, hey, yeah.
You
And
do?
he's like, hey, in the face.
Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to wonder is what happens after the karate match. So that's our next step. I want you to tell me what's going to happen after the karate
It's
match.
gonna be this one. Cube, use me on my motorcycle.
Okay. So there's our next step. We're going to write about what happens after the karate match, okay? Okay. So when we go through our writing checklist, we generated our ideas, and you used your imagination. So you've got, you are a,
Bat.
you're a bat.
And
you've,
Hassan.
and Hassan's a bat, and
My sister's screaming.
your sister's screaming.
Yeah.
And then you've got a zombie here, and you've got a dragon. So we've got our characters in our story. So we've got the idea. So we look at number one, we generate our ideas, and we've got our idea that's going to help us meet our learning goal. So our next step is going to be to come up with a great opening. So we've got an onomatopoeia. You know what an onomatopoeia is?
Yeah.
What is an onomatopoeia?
This is onomatopoeia.
Okay, so the sound of her screaming. Then the superlative. Do you remember what the superlative is? So what we said in our example was Michael Maxwell McCallum was the smallest boy in our class. So the smallest describes what kind of boy he is. Okay? So that's called an adjective. So you could describe yourself as a bat. How could you just think about how you could describe yourself as a bat? What kind of bat are you? Are you the smallest bat? Are you the smartest bat? Are you the fastest bat?
I'm the fastest bat.
Okay, so Jada was the fastest bat in the cave? Okay, so I'll write this down on a post-it note for you. Okay, so there's our opener. We're gonna go with the superlative. So, Jada was the fastest bat in the cave. And what I want you to think about now is, because you're the fastest bat in the cave, how is that going to help you with the zombie or the dragon? How is
Well, the dragon is slow, and the zombie is like. Am I too? Yep. The zombie and the dragon are best friends.
they're best friends, and they're really slow, so you're going to be able to get away from them?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what's going to happen in the rest of your story, is you're going to talk about you, Hassan, and your sister trying to get away from them as bats?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's our next step. Now we're going to work on that,
Well, my
that first
sister
draft.
isn't a bat.
I'm looking at your writing, and you said, "Oh no, yesterday I was absent because I was really sick." So I like your opener because it shows me you weren't happy you were at school. Now up here, you drew, or you talked about you were coughing and sneezing. So that could be something that we could add into our writing. And then let's think of our closing. You mentioned a closing to me. What did you want to say? Well, now today, what are you? How do you feel today? So today I feel better, and is that why you came to school? So today I feel better, and now I can go to school. And how do you feel that you're at school? Are you excited about that? Are you happy about that? So I am happy to be back at school. So there's our next step. So let's add that. So we have coughing, we have sneezing, and then we have feeling better. And then happy to be back at school. So there's our next steps. We're just going to add a little more detail to how we were feeling and some of the stuff that was making us feel well. And then we're going to finish our closing where we're feeling better and now we're happy to be back at school. Okay?